discoveries that the scientific community tries to hide from the public. What if I told you that some of the most groundbreaking discoveries in human history are locked away in classified files, buried in academic bureaucracy, or simply dismissed because they challenge everything we thought we knew about reality? Today, we're diving deep into the forbidden knowledge that powerful institutions don't want you to discover. These aren't conspiracy theories. These are documented scientific findings that have been systematically suppressed, ignored, or discredited. Prepare yourself for revelations that will change how you see the world forever. The water memory controversy. In 1988, French immunologist Jacques Benveniste published research that shook the scientific establishment to its core. His experiments demonstrated that water could retain a memory of substances that had been dissolved in it, even after extreme dilution. This phenomenon suggested that homeopathic remedies might have a scientific basis that traditional medicine couldn't explain. But here's where it gets sinister. Within weeks of publication, Benveniste's career was systematically destroyed. The prestigious journal Nature, which had initially published his findings, organized what can only be described as a witch hunt. They sent a team, including a magician, not a scientist, but an actual stage magician, to investigate his laboratory. The message was clear. This research was so threatening to established medical interests that it had to be eliminated at all costs. What makes this even more disturbing is that subsequent research by Nobel laureate Luc Montagnier and teams at major universities have reproduced similar results. Yet mainstream science continues to dismiss water memory as pseudoscience. Why? Because if water truly has memory, it would revolutionize our understanding of biology, medicine, and consciousness itself. Pharmaceutical companies would lose billions. Medical schools would need to rewrite their textbooks. The entire foundation of modern medicine would crumble. The evidence is there, documented and peer-reviewed, but it remains buried beneath decades of institutional suppression and academic intimidation. The suppressed anti-gravity research. During World War II and throughout the Cold War, both American and Soviet scientists made unprecedented breakthroughs in anti-gravity technology. Classified documents released through Freedom of Information Act requests reveal that researchers successfully created devices capable of manipulating gravitational fields. Names like Thomas Townsend Brown, John Hutchison, and Victor Schauberger became legends in underground scientific communities. Brown's electrokinetic experiments in the 1950s demonstrated objects defying gravity using high-voltage electricity. The military immediately classified his research as top secret. Hutchison's laboratory in Canada produced what became known as the Hutchison effect. Objects levitating, metals fusing at room temperature, and materials displaying impossible properties. Instead of celebrating these discoveries, authorities confiscated his equipment multiple times and threatened him with imprisonment. Victor Schauberger, the Austrian inventor who worked on Nazi flying disc projects, claimed to have unlocked the secrets of implosion energy and natural levitation. After the war, American intelligence services seized his research and forced him into secrecy agreements that he honored until his death. These aren't wild theories. These are documented cases of breakthrough technologies that could have revolutionized transportation, energy production, and space exploration decades ago. But revealing anti-gravity technology would destabilize entire industries, threaten national security paradigms, and challenge the fundamental economic structures of modern civilization. So it remains locked away, accessible only to military black projects and corporate research divisions operating beyond public scrutiny. The consciousness transfer experiments. In the depths of Stanford Research Institute and Princeton University's Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory, scientists conducted experiments that proved consciousness could operate independently of the physical brain. Remote viewing programs, psychokinetic studies, and consciousness transfer research produced results so consistent and replicable that they terrified the academic establishment. Dr. Hal Puthoff and Russell Targ's remote viewing experiments achieved statistical significance that defied all conventional explanations. Test subjects could accurately describe distant locations, future events, and classified information with precision that mainstream psychology claimed was impossible. The CIA's Stargate program utilized these abilities for decades in intelligence operations, proving their effectiveness in real-world applications. But perhaps most disturbing were the consciousness transfer experiments conducted in underground facilities. Researchers discovered methods to record, store, and potentially transfer human consciousness between different substrates. Early experiments involved transferring memories and personality patterns between laboratory animals. Later studies explored the possibility of preserving human consciousness beyond biological death. These discoveries threatened the very foundations of human identity, religious beliefs, and societal structures. If consciousness could be transferred, copied, or preserved artificially, what would happen to concepts of individual identity, legal responsibility, and spiritual beliefs? The implications were so profound that research was immediately compartmentalized and moved into classified programs. Whistleblowers and former researchers who've attempted to reveal this information have faced career destruction, legal persecution, and in some cases, mysterious deaths. The knowledge exists, but it remains imprisoned within black-budget programs and corporate research facilities operating beyond public oversight. The suppressed energy revolution. Nikola Tesla died in 1943 with patents and research notes that could have given humanity unlimited wireless energy transmission decades ago. Within hours of his death, federal agents seized his entire laboratory, confiscating thousands of documents that have never been released to the public. What was so dangerous about Tesla's final discoveries that they required immediate government suppression? Tesla had successfully demonstrated wireless energy transmission, cold fusion processes, and what he called radiant energy, systems that could power entire cities without consuming traditional fuels. His Colorado Springs experiments proved that electrical energy could be transmitted through the Earth itself, making power grids and energy companies obsolete overnight. Modern researchers who've attempted to recreate Tesla's experiments have faced systematic suppression. Eugene Malov, an MIT-trained scientist who documented successful cold fusion replications, was murdered in 2004 just before a major energy conference. Stanley Meyer, who developed a water-powered car engine, died under suspicious circumstances after claiming his technology was being suppressed by oil companies. The pattern is undeniable. Revolutionary energy technologies are discovered. Researchers are silenced. Patents are classified or purchased by shell companies. And the discoveries disappear into corporate or government black holes. Free energy technology exists, but releasing it would collapse the global economy, eliminate the power of energy cartels, and fundamentally redistribute wealth and influence across the planet. The archaeological cover-up. Beneath the Smithsonian Institution's public facade lies one of history's most systematic cover-ups. For over a century, archaeological discoveries that challenge conventional human history have been confiscated, destroyed, or hidden from public view. Giant human skeletons, advanced ancient technologies, and artifacts that predate accepted civilization timelines have been systematically eliminated from the historical record. Newspaper reports from the late 1800s and early 1900s documented the discovery of giant human remains across North America. Skeletons measuring 7 to 12 feet in height, with advanced metallurgical artifacts and sophisticated tools, were regularly uncovered by archaeological expeditions. The Smithsonian reportedly collected these remains, promising to study and display them. Instead, they disappeared forever into the institution's vast storage facilities. Similar cover-ups occurred worldwide. In Egypt, chambers beneath the Sphinx containing advanced technologies were sealed and classified. In Peru, elongated skulls with brain capacities exceeding modern humans were confiscated and hidden. In Turkey, underground cities capable of housing hundreds of thousands of people were mapped and then restricted from further exploration. Why would archaeological discoveries be suppressed? Because they prove that advanced civilizations existed thousands of years before accepted historical timelines. They demonstrate that human development wasn't linear, that previous civilizations achieved technological capabilities that challenge our assumptions about progress and human capability. These discoveries would force complete revision of history textbooks, challenge religious narratives, and prove that much of what we consider primitive, ancient cultures were actually more advanced than modern civilization. The biological immortality breakthrough. In research laboratories hidden from public scrutiny, scientists have achieved what humanity has dreamed of for millennia: biological immortality. Telomere extension research, cellular regeneration techniques, and genetic engineering programs have successfully reversed aging in laboratory animals and, according to classified reports, in human test subjects. Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn's Nobel Prize-winning telomere research proved that cellular aging could be reversed and prevented. Her discoveries showed that human cells could theoretically maintain themselves indefinitely, achieving biological immortality. But instead of celebrating this breakthrough, research funding was redirected. Key scientists were reassigned to classified programs, and public research into life extension was systematically discouraged. Underground reports suggest that advanced life extension technologies have been successfully tested on human subjects within government and corporate facilities. Techniques involving stem cell regeneration, genetic therapy, and cellular reprogramming have reportedly extended human lifespans far beyond natural limits. These technologies exist, but they remain accessible only to elite research programs and wealthy individuals with connections to classified medical facilities. The suppression of immortality research serves multiple purposes. It maintains population control, preserves existing power structures, and prevents the social chaos that would result from unlimited lifespans becoming available to the general population. If everyone could live forever, concepts of inheritance, career progression, political terms, and social hierarchy would become meaningless. The discovery exists, but it remains locked away to protect the established order. These discoveries represent just the surface of a vast conspiracy of suppression that extends throughout modern scientific institutions. Every breakthrough that threatens established power structures, challenges conventional paradigms, or could fundamentally transform human civilization is systematically identified, classified, and hidden from public knowledge. The pattern is always the same. Promising research emerges. Initial publications generate excitement. Then funding disappears. Researchers face career destruction. Patents are classified or purchased by shell companies, and the discoveries vanish into classified programs or corporate black holes. We live in an age where the most important scientific breakthroughs of human history are locked away from the people who funded them through tax dollars and tuition payments. Revolutionary technologies that could solve energy crises, eliminate diseases, extend human lifespan, and unlock the deepest mysteries of consciousness and reality remain imprisoned within institutions that prioritize control over human advancement. The question isn't whether these suppressed discoveries exist. The documentation and evidence are overwhelming for those willing to look beyond mainstream narratives. The question is whether we'll continue to accept a system where breakthrough knowledge is held hostage by institutions more interested in maintaining power than advancing human potential. Every like on this video sends a message that people demand transparency, in scientific research. Every subscription builds a community of individuals who refuse to accept institutional suppression of knowledge that belongs to all humanity. Every comment sharing your own research or experiences contributes to a growing movement demanding that suppressed discoveries be released for the benefit of all humanity. The truth is out there, hidden in classified files, buried in academic bureaucracy, and locked away in corporate research facilities. But truth has a way of emerging, especially when enough people demand it. Subscribe to this channel if you believe that revolutionary scientific discoveries should serve humanity, not hidden agendas. Hit the like button if you want to see more suppressed knowledge brought to light. And comment below with your own research into suppressed discoveries. Together, we can expose the knowledge they don't want you to have. Remember, they can suppress individual researchers, classify specific documents, and intimidate isolated scientists. But they cannot silence an entire community of truth seekers determined to expose suppressed knowledge and demand transparency in scientific research. The future of human advancement depends on our willingness to question, investigate, and expose the discoveries they're hiding from us. The revolution begins with awareness. Subscribe now and join the movement to liberate suppressed scientific knowledge for the benefit of all humanity.